Rock climbing has to be one of the most intense sports I've ever been involved in. It's a really exciting sport, and while you're in the middle of doing it, it gives you a huge adrenaline rush. I first started climbing around when I was 19 years old. At the time, my life was pretty rough. My mother had just lost a battle to cancer, and after that, my dad and I were slowly being pushed apart. For a while, my life was a mess, until I found out that my friend Sean was going through the same thing with his brother at the same time. So it's kind of funny. It seems like something tragic brought the two of us together. After that, Sean and I became really good friends. And if it wasn't for Sean and I being friends again, I would have never started rock climbing, because it was one of his friends that actually got me involved in it. After I started climbing, I started to feel a lot better about myself. I felt like I was actually doing something good for once, something productive, something good for you, you know? When I was on a rock and around my friends, the only thing I really thought of was what we were going to climb next. I didn't worry about all the other bullshit in the world. Rock climbing really freed my mind and helped me get over my mom's death. Rock climbing is a team sport. You really need two people to climb. You need one person who will actually climb the wall, and you need someone else to sit at the bottom and belay for you. The person belaying has the other end of the rope attached to his harness, so that way if you fall, the person belaying can pull the rope down and stop you from dying. My first climbing expedition wasn't really a climb. We actually went rappelling. And rappelling's a little bit different than climbing, but you use all the same equipment. And one of the scariest parts about rappelling is that if you let go of the rope with one of your hands, you're not going to stop falling. So, while you're doing it, just be aware that you can't let go with that hand, and you'll be fine. The climb in Fall Mountain was my first climb on a real rock. I went with two of my friends, and while we were out there, we had the time of our lives. My first climb went pretty well. I remember thinking that it wouldn't be that bad being up that high, but I was wrong. I started climbing up the mountain, and I don't know, like a quarter of the way up it, I started feeling scared shitless. My palms, and I was sweating. It was a hot day out, and I was clinging to the wall for dear life. And I was really scared. It's a really scary feeling that you get when you're climbing. But I toughed it out, and I finally made it to the top. And when I finally made it to the top of the rock, it was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in my life. Rock climbing really frees my mind. When I start climbing, if I feel angry at all, it seems like all the anger goes away. Because when I climb, it's just like I don't think about anything else. If I'm really mad while I'm climbing, I just let my anger fuel me and let it help me reach the top. And then when you get there and look down, it seems like for a moment, all the painful memories are gone. And I'm finally at peace. That's what I love the most about rock climbing. The way it makes you feel when you get to the top is just unbelievable. You feel like you're on top of the world, and the view is just a sight to behold.